Terrific Tuesday. My goodness, I'm getting this set up. Terrific Tuesday, Terrific Tuesday. Gotta send out my links. Yeah, I gotta send out my links. So give me 1 second, please. Hello, Creep Night. Good to see you. Look, you have a crown. You have a crown on your head. Battle to the Royale. Battle to the Royale. Ra-la-la-la. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Lottie and William. I think that is it. Hello, my goodness. How are you doing? How is your wonderful, super, fantastic, terrific Tuesday?
Tell me now.
All right, I'm getting something set up here real quick. Okay, let's not do that because that will bring the whole party down. Everybody will start crashing. Is that better? Okay. Good 3D printing Megalodon. That's a really big 3D printer. Like, are you sure? Like all of Megalodon? Like, I'm not doubting you. I'm just. That's a lot. That's a lot. Megalodon. Or are you talking about the 3D monster truck? I'm gonna assume that you're thinking about a Megalodon, the monster truck. And maybe.
I watched the skull go from 300.
Nope, not that one. Dun, dun, dun. Give me 1 second. It's a fish? No, a Megalodon is a shark. I know that because I went to the aquarium. Can't try to fool me. My goodness. Fooling me? It's a shark. It's not a fish. Correct, shark. Okay. I was about to feel crazy. I was about to feel how you say quite insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. I actually really like that song, believe it or not. Give me one. I'm trying to talk and do two things 5 times worse. That doesn't make sense. What is up with the purple crown that says number 1? Is that like SpongeBob? We're number 1. We're number 1. That one of those hats. I don't know. YouTube's doing this weird thing with welcome to my club, I guess. Welcome to my club. What? Yeah. Chicka pow, man. Wild. Alright. Seriously though. Tiff, you talking about, man? Look, now you're number 2. If you look at your comment, it has a crown and it says number 2. And I'm number 2. Okay, no, Brian. Yes, Brian, you're number 3. I don't know. What am I talking about? What am I ever talking about? Like, ever. Insane in the membrane! Insane in the brain! All right, give me 1 second. I think this is gonna work out fine. My favorite number 3. Creep Night's like, oh, I'm number 1. Oh my God, they made a competition. They made a competition with comments and commenting. It's a battle of the Royale. The battle of the Royale. The battle of the best of the best of the best.
Of the few, of the faint, of the proud.
My goodness. And I am going to do this thing where I'm sending. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I guess that works. All right, here we go.
Wake up and creep today, it's Tuesday morning, feeling so alive.
Hello, it's Terrific Tuesday. My goodness. Jeremiah, why are you so excited that it's Terrific Tuesday? Why? Because Terrific Tuesday is the best Tuesday. I don't care what you think, but I do. Or you won't say that, because if I did, and you got onto this whole notion that every day was terrific, then, well, what would you say Terrific Tuesday? No, Terrific Tuesday. You know, wonderful Wednesday, marvelous Monday, terrifying Thursday, fantastic Friday, spectacular Saturday, and summarize that Sunday. It's funny because a lot of times whenever you're actually talking to people, could you imagine if I was like so high energy that I came up at you and I was like, how are you? And you'd be like, whoa, bro, like, calm down. All right, let me stop the music.
Wake up and breathe today.
It will repeat on itself. All right, hold on. All right. So, like I was saying, this is Terrific Tuesday. If you have never ever experienced Terrific Tuesday, there is everything and anything at all that is terrific about it. If did you hear that? Did you hear that whole? It's like, whoa, bro, my goodness. No, all right, seriously though, this is Terrific Tuesday. I love it. I've probably said that 9 times. Then I'm not him. Yeah, if you don't like Terrific Tuesday, you're not human. No, you don't have to like it. But I will tell you that taking off the names, I'm gonna start doing this more. I love the Wheel of Wellness. The Wheel of Wellness is absolutely, I think, one of my favorite purchases, period. I started this whole Terrific Tuesday over the notion of that wheel right there. Not even joking. I was like, wouldn't it be really great if there was like a podcast or like some type of like place that you could go for news, and it used to be Terrific News Tuesday. And then I realized that finding good news was nearly impossible because, well, good news doesn't sell and bad news does. And so then I had to drop the news, and then I said, oh, Terrific Tuesday. Why Terrific Tuesday? Because, like, what else are you going to have now? Hear me out for a second. I'll pull up a chair here. And don't worry, I got my multicolored pen. I'm going to be real for a second. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing. And I think that that's the best part, is sometimes you have to find a medium to where you don't know exactly, you don't have plans, you don't have these predetermined roads, and you just kind of go with the flow. Now, there are a few things to be warned about this type of like thinking. Number one, you don't want to just randomly find yourself walking into like a Shark Tank, right? Like a Megalodon Shark Tank, because you'll get eaten, right? You don't want to find yourself at like 3 in the morning in downtown New York. Maybe some parts of downtown New York, but not all of the downtown New York, right? You don't want to go swim with jellyfish. Like, they might look cute and cuddly, but they're not your friend. As much as you would love for them to be your friend, they're not your friend. Period, okay? Other truths. You can't defecate on someone's car. Like, for whatever reason, you'll get in trouble for that. So just don't do that. Like, whatever you do, don't do that. I got a comment that says, while I'm her. Is that like that slang of while I'm her? What is that? It's like, it's kind of like the words that you can't say on the interwebs. And you're like, well, why can't I say them? It's like, well, I couldn't tell you if it was like if they killed me. Sometimes in society, you have to get out of the mold and just be you. That actually is pretty cool. I'm gonna do that one more time because it looked cool, and it's my foot here. Ready? Could you imagine if I did that the whole time? Like, what? Don't worry. What? How did he do that? Absolutely crazy! It's lost my mind! My goodness! Can he do it in reverse? I can do it in reverse. reverse. Let's do it in reverse. What? Huh? How did I do that? Wow. Boom! Okay, I'll do it in reverse one more time. Okay, ready? Here we are. Foot, chair. And then you Super Saiyan and you go, magic chair. Do you know what that's called? Trick of the lens, man. I have 2 chairs. See? What you see is just as important as what you don't see. If you've never known my office, if you've never seen me, if you've never seen Terrific Tuesday or anything of the sort, and you didn't know that I had 2 chairs, I could have tricked you. And if I tricked you, then what else do you have? What do you have? You only have my word or the perception of what you see in front of you. I could have easily said, oh yeah, there's 1 chair. How did I do that? And now if you had a logical sense of thinking, you would be like, okay, wait a minute, there can't logically be just 1 chair, and he is just pulling it out of a liminal space. That does not happen unless you're living in the back rooms. Sorry, William, I hate to tell you that, but I know we're both intimate. But if all you see is what is presented to you, you have no other choice than to assume. And if you assume whatever may be presented to you, then the presentation is rigged. The data is skewed. You get me? You hear me? And if you base your life on skewed data, you will always be, well, skewed. Skewed in statistical senses. You're bamboozled, a ruse, a rise, lied to. And it's that simple. That's the best analogy that I can explain it to you, is if I say there's only 1 chair, and you believe that there's just 1 chair, you're like, okay, well, this is the Terrific Tuesday show. Okay, I understand the Terrific Tuesday show, and I understand that there's only 1 chair. But then again, I can't, if there's only 1 chair, and he's able to kick it out of you, how? My God, how did he do that? And I say, oh, wow, I got it. Pull up a chair. If you weren't mindful, if you weren't none the wiser, you'd be like, ah! It's just, you'd lose it. My goodness, and no, I can't stop yapping. How about you keep swiping? Holy moly, holy. Sometimes in life, you gotta go with it. You gotta be. And sometimes you're not allowed to just be. And so you find the things that make you, you. And if people do not return the energy, well, they're not your people. There's more than 7 billion freaking people in the world, and you think out of 7 billion people, all of them are gonna like you? Whoa! You are gonna be pleasantly surprised. Actually, honestly, seriously, bring 2 chairs. You're gonna have your backs against the wall. I just messed up my projector. No! Ready? Watch this. You ready? Boom. It's called foot magic. Don't look at the hands. Don't look at the hands. All right, next on the topic, PTSD. Who's ready? All right, no, Jeremiah, don't. I was actually talking about PTSD earlier, and I actually think I'm going to do it again because I actually gave a really cool analogy. Now, obviously, this is real time, real talk. We're here, you're there. Like, oh my God, is this made for real? For rizzles? For rizzles. For rizzles, my nizzles. Alright, so this is a whiteboard. Here's the whiteboard. Let's talk about PTSD. I think this is beneficial, and I think that this is a very, very useful conversation. Okay, here we are. So imagine, and first, before the road, before the chicken, there's the egg. Before the road, there was the car. Seriously, there was the buggy before there was ever a road. So So I'm going to draw a vehicle. And don't judge me on my drawing. I'm going to give it some lights and a window. Okay. My door. Can't draw. Okay, so here's the car. See the car? The car go beep beep, right? Bear with me. Now, imagine you are the car, and you're driving along on a highway, right? And at some point, there is a situation. There's a pothole. There's a pothole in the road. There's you know, if you live in Oklahoma, there's potholes everywhere. There's a dip in the road. There's a shock while driving. Okay. So what we're gonna call that is situation number one. That is situation number one. You with me? So you're going along your road and whoa, wait a minute, what was that? And so at some point you're able to recuperate and you're able to get back on the road, right? But then there is another situation that happens. This situation, yes, I know, it's called situation number two. Situation number two is like you're driving down the road and then you're driving down the road and there's a pothole, okay. You recuperate and then there's another pothole. And whenever there's another pothole, hold on. Oh, technology. Oh, I pulled it out. That's amazing. Is that better? Or is that worse? Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. I had to fix the charging. Situation two happens. And you're like, I knew it. I knew something bad was going to happen. And then you keep on going, and there is, in your head, there is possible situations. So one's for sure, one situation's for sure, second situation, maybe it's not even a second situation, sometimes it's actually just the first situation. And then anytime after that, you're anticipating. When you have that anticipation, you go, I know the floor is going to get out from under me, right? This is all the makings of PTSD. Now, here's the crazy part that nobody wants to tell you that I'm going to break the mold on. And once I tell you this, you will never ever be able to look at it the same. And if you are, you're probably weird or you're probably already indoctrinated by the schools, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to tell you anyway, so once I do, then we're blowing your plausible deniability. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It used to be called shell shock. It used to be called soldier's fatigue. It's had numerous names. Anytime you talk to someone, they go, well, I have PTSD. You mean you were driving along the road in your car and you hit a hole in the road and it really disrupted your driving, and now you're terrified that that might happen again, so you have to be a little precautious? Hear me? My goodness. But here's the crazy part. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Disorder is a word used by insurance companies so they can bill you. It is a word so clinicians know how to categorize and code you. It is. You're like, well, no, it's a disorder. I mean, what? You're out of regular order? Like, everyone's out of order. You can't go into 2025 without having some type of PTSD. But how about, for just a moment, we take out the disorder. We take out the word disorder. And I typically do. It's just since we've changed the name so many times, how about we just call it PTS? Past Traumatic Situations. Past Traumatic Situations. You're driving on the road and there's a situation and it just, something in the past happened. Well, what happened was your amygdala is your fire detector on your head that says something's wrong here. Something is familiar from the situation and I know this place from before. So then it indicates and it talks to your hippocampus. And your hippocampus is your physiological response system that is in control of your physiological state of being. Yes, your flashbacks. It's, haven't we been here before? Amygdala talks to your hippocampus. Then your hippocampus talks to your medulla oblongata. Sorry, I was thinking of Waterboy. Crocodiles, because the medulla oblongata. Mama says it's because all those hey, your mom's wrong. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Ah! Okay, sorry. It's just one of those funnies that I make. Your medulla oblongata is your physiological state that's connected to all the rest of your physiological systems, right? Okay. That activates your cortisol and your adrenaline. It makes you question, am I going to have to fight a bear? And what's the likelihood that I'm going to win this fight with a bear? You with me? PTSD is just one of those memory things. I remember this. No, it's real. I get the shakes. You were reminded of something. Something in your life happened. It's called triggers, and everybody gets triggered by words and things and events and societies, and it's like, hypervigilant? Yes! Hypervigilant. Okay, so Jeremiah, what do? How do I get out of this vicious trap? This is where therapy does come in. And if therapists were worth their salt, they would tell you the truth. And the truth is, you have to realize, you have to come to the realization that the possibility of these situations were always a factor. Being subjected to this type of situations where things aren't going to always work out. They're not. The things are not always going to work out, and if they don't always work out, and you get caught off guard, you're going to have a bad time. But here's the crazy part. That's the hazard of being, that is an occupational hazard of being alive. That is an occupational hazard of being human, because that's what you are. The people that get stuck on the disorder, that's me, 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 that's me. Okay, how about this? Let's go with that. If I wrote PTSD, are you the picture or are you reading the picture? Depressed, sad. Let's go with sad. Oh, everybody feels sad. I feel sad. Yes. Are you experiencing the word? Are you reading the word sad? Or are you the freaking whiteboard and the expo marker that wrote it? I'm experiencing it. Because that's what you do in life. You experience. You experience sadness and PTSD, and you experience anger. You experience it. How can? Now, for the longest time, see, I'm aware of this because for the longest time I borrowed the verbiage from other people that I said, well, I'm ADHD. Can't you tell I'm ADHD? Look, Mom, I'm ADHD. I'm not ADHD. I experience ADHD. I experience attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Disorder, that's a word again. Well, why is it that they can give medicine for ADHD, but they can't for anger? It's always off-labeled. So take out the D. I'm attention deficit and hyper. Okay, well, look, if we have some of the social medias that we're on today and some of the things that we are fed, you would have attention, and you do have attention problems as well. So does that mean everybody's ADHD? Because last time I checked, they are purposely, and I say they as in them as in would love to keep you distracted. Case and point. Keep you distracted from what? From thinking, from having a logical thought, from going, my God, something about this. Something about you. Now, if you are watching this, here is my message to you. You are wonderful. I don't even have to know you, but how would I know who I was without you? We have to have a collective, a fishbowl of just everybody. That's it. No, you don't have to be accepting, but you don't have to be an asshat. Like, come on. You need to be the best version of you. Well, how can I be the best version of me? It's that old saying, be the change you like to see in the world. Be you. I'm not asking you to change, but I will put it in my old analogy. I love pickled pizza. It comes from my stoner days. I love pickled pizza. I love pickles on my pizza every time. Thank you. I love it. Do you like pickles on your pizza? Do you know someone that likes pineapple on their pizza or anchovies? I don't eat pork. Pork on the pizza. Do you know what? I don't criticize people with pepperoni on their pizza. I don't judge them. I don't say, you can't eat it. I just don't eat the pizza. And we're going to have a problem if you try to make me eat pepperoni pizza. And we're going to have a problem if I try to force you to eat pickled pizza. You with me? Now apply that to the rest of your freaking life, and you're going to be much better off. I won't force you to eat my pizza if you won't force me to eat your pizza, and we can agree that pizza is just the greatest. Well, Jeremiah, I don't like tomato sauce. Marinara. Okay, well, go get a fettuccine Alfredo pizza, man. Like, come on. They have Alfredo pizza for a reason. Well, I don't like that either. Well, aren't you just a picky little one? How about you just take all the sauce off, roll it up, and eat it as a burrito? I'm not going to judge you, but don't make me eat it because I like my marinara and I like my Alfredo sauce. Okay? Boom. See, this is the thing is you get so caught up on the small little things in life, and that's where we get mixed up. That's where we go wrong. You cannot make decisions for me. The only time you can make decisions for me is if my decisions are directly affecting you, and vice versa. I have no right to impede on your own self-will and your own life. I have no right. And you have no right to impede on my self-will. Now, if I'm going to go harm a bunch of people, then you know what? No, because that's what the same conversation's about. And that's where we actually get wrong, is why? And here's my question to you, why is this not widespread talked about? Everyone wants to talk about making the world a better place and safer. No, you want the world to be your version of perfect. But your version of perfect is not my version of perfect. So then we got some problems here, don't we? Like, sooner or later, Mother Nature's going to take us all out. Okay? So how about, while we're at it, if you don't agree with how I play with my proverbial toys and my proverbial way, and I don't play hide-and-go-seek or tag the way that you do, how about we just don't play together? Okay? It doesn't mean you go over and go to little Johnny and you go, hey, Johnny. They're dumb. They're stupid. You don't do that. And if you do, you're hurt. And if you're a hurt person, will hurt people. Checkmate. What's next? Okay, well, what if someone says something I don't like? I walk away. Close your ears. Well, they're going to still say it. Yeah, they're still going to say it. You're not ever going to shut them up. And here is an absolute truth. The more you try to shut someone up, the louder they get. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. Anytime kids get ignored, what happens? They start making a mess. They start pulling things down and they start saying, look at me. And you say, well, you're just acting bad. How could anyone look at you when you're acting that way? They're trying to get your attention. They don't know how to. They haven't learned how to articulate their words. So, excuse me if I know that I'm going to get your attention by making a mess, by acting out. You want the secret to parenting education? You want the secret to parenting classes? You're the problem. Take ownership of it. I am the problem. I have kids. I'm the problem. They're just little humans that are going, okay, is this the way? No. Do as I say, not as you do. That's horrible advice. Don't ever tell a kid, well, do as I say, not as I do. You're their example. You're they're your role model. What's funny is with Red Nose Wellness, I'm actually covering all of my topics. I'm working myself out of a job. My active goal with Red Nose Wellness, my end goal is to work myself out of a job so I can go to some other profession. How about that? How about I work so freaking hard that everybody has a chance to go, well, you know what? I'm not as bad as I thought I was. Okay, next topic. How can we, I don't know, utilize the ocean and create clean water? How can we stop doing some active things that make the environment worse? I mean real worse, not fairy tale news. How can I get involved in my community where they stop passing this stupid legislation and where we can actually talk as a community? Nothing ever changed. Life, the whole existence of life. High school never ended. We never left high school. There's still the popular kids, and there's still the geeks, and there's still the outcasts that don't fit in round holes. That's us, by the way, just so you know. If you're watching this and you're consistently watching it, we're in our own little group. But high school never ended, okay? We're probably the theater kids. And now we're the rejected theater kids. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where we didn't fit in any type of group, and then we tried to fit into groups, and we kind of fit there, but we never really fit there. And people accepted us into their little group, but they never fully embraced us and said, hey, would you like, come on, you're one of us, come on. I don't know about, maybe I'm speaking for myself, or you're like, oh, I was in a lot of groups. I was in all of the groups. Okay, yeah, but did you really ever fit in? Because if you really did, you'd only need one group. And then what happened? High school ended, and then they go, okay, now rush off to college. Why should I? Don't ask questions. Don't you dare ask questions of why you should do what I told you to do. Do as I say, not as I do. Sound familiar? Eat on your plate and don't question why. Sound familiar? And then people actually don't listen to you, and then you get aggravated. Sound familiar? And when someone doesn't do what you tell them to do, and they aren't fitting the agenda which was in your head and you never spoke out loud, what did you do? This is all connecting from being a child to being an adolescent, to being high school, to being adults. This never ended. It's Groundhog's Day. Can't you tell? Where's Bill Murray when you need him? It's Groundhog's Day. They changed the face, they changed the name of the game, but it's the same hide and go seek game. It's, do I fit here? No. Do I fit here? No. Then where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to fit? Who am I supposed to be? Could you tell me? If I can't choose for myself, could you tell me who I'm supposed to be? I'm really interested. I'm actually really intrigued. Tell me who I'm supposed to be. Okay. 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 Anything else? No. Okay. Okay. I'll do exactly what you said. I'm an example. Oh, no, that badge is gone. Oh, you don't like the beads, okay. Oh, you don't like the multicolored pen. Wait, you want my shirt? Is that what you're wanting? If you're wanting my shirt, just let me know that you're wanting my shirt. Oh, okay, so it's a pearl snap. Now you don't like it because it's green. You don't like it, it's not a solid color. You don't like it because it's not long sleeve. It's not professional enough. It's not long enough. It's not short enough. It's not cool enough. It looks like my grandpa's. It looks like a new age hippie. It looks like we're picking apart. We pick and we pick and we dig and we dig until what? There's nothing left to give. What did you expect? And then they sit around and they go, well, here's another pill, boy. Don't you need some more medicine? You seem a little anxious. You seem a little aggravated. You seem a little angry. You seem a little sad. You seem a little excited. You seem a little tired. Something must be wrong with you. And not ever taking accountability. And then you look at yourself and you go, if they're not going to take accountability, then why would I take accountability? It's not me, it's you. If you want to go biblical, we've been doing this all the way to Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, all the way to your grandma, your grandpa, then your mom and your dad, and now you? Why do you think people don't want to have kids? Why do you think people don't want to live in the chaos? Because they see it's a perpetuating circle. There's no way out of it. And then they look around and they say, what was that? Creep night. Cain and Abel. Yes. Yes, creep night. Cain and Abel. It goes all the way to Cain and Abel. Because Adam and Eve, it's always them. It's not me, it's them. I tell you, I actually had this conference a little bit ago where it was confrontation communication. And what I did was I had two chairs. I had chair number 1 and I had chair number 2. Now in chair number 1, I said, who likes pickled pizza? Pickled pizza sits here, and it goes to the whole analogy that I just gave you. Look, my projector on the wall. That's funny. I'll do this. Okay. So I said, pickled pizza here and pepperoni here, right? I already made my pre-judgment of pickled pizza. That's my favorite, right? And so made sure that, hey, have you ever had pickled pizza? No, you've never had pickled pizza? Okay, what do you like? I like pepperoni. For sure, though, you hate pickled pizza. I can't stand it. It's disgusting, wonderful. You sit there. I'm a vegetarian. I don't have any pepperoni whatsoever. I don't eat pork. Okay, perfect, right? Great, wonderful. Hi, Mr. Pepperoni. Could you say one positive thing about the pickled pizza? And they sat there and they go, it's cool, man. No. Mr. Pepperoni, could you say something positive about the pickled pizza? No, not really. I don't like pickled pizza. I don't want pickled pizza. Don't try to feed me pickled pizza. Okay, so you have nothing. Okay. I went then over to the pickled pizza individual, and I said, hi, Mr. Pickled Pizza person. I know you're a vegetarian and you don't eat pepperoni, but could you say one thing positive about pepperoni? And the pickled pizza person goes, you're killing all the animals. No, positive, pickled pizza person. Can you positive, something positive? I don't know, what do you want me to say? I don't eat pepperoni, so there's nothing good to say about pepperoni. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like something that's like, I've been here before? What if one was a Republican and one was a Democrat? What if one was white and one was black? Pickled pizza is absolutely a thing in Creek Night. It came from my stoner days. When I used to partake in all these different recreational happenings. I used to absolutely, that's, if you know me long enough, then it's where I have a very notorious alias. His name's Bob Jesus, and he'd walk into a pizza place and he'd say, man, I like this type of pizza. And the pizza person would say, what's your name? And he'd be like, I'm Bob Jesus. And by the way, could you put some pickles on that pizza? I really appreciate it. It's a real thing. But here's the thing. At what point do you have right to judge the other person? The moment they try to force you to eat the pizza. At any moment that they said, you can't eat that pickled pizza. That's where I have a problem. That is my problem right there. You cannot tell someone they cannot eat that. Now, you can give warning, like if you're the pickled pizza and you're talking to the person with pepperoni, you can say, hey, that's going to lead to congestive heart failure. And they have a right to not listen to you and to walk away. You have no right to follow them and to badger them. Right? If this was flipped around and if this was about kids, right? What would you tell the kids? Next time you're in an argument, in a disagreement with someone, pretend the other person is a child. Would you get away from me? This is my spot? Or would you, and I know you would, you either have to share, or that's not nice, just don't play with that person. But isn't it funny how that's the one thing that we have forgotten as a society? They're not being nice, don't play with them. Somewhere from being a child and being a baby to high school, we forgot the most important lesson of all. They taught us to stand in line. They taught us to follow orders. They taught us to do as they say, not as they do. They told us to finish our assignments. They told us all these things. But the one rule am I live on another? I am on. Talking to TT language. Did I do that right? I'm doing sign language. If you're interested in the other one, it's that I'm using right now, I'm on, you know where I'm at, and I'm using rednosewellness on the other. I don't know. So here's the crazy part: is I'm just learning about, I guess, language and things you can and cannot say and censorship, and so like it's the platform that doesn't let you say people that are not leaders, and you have to say stupid. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Wild, man. It is so wild. All right. Jeremiah, you seem pretty intrigued. You seem pretty, I don't know. What's the word? Sincere. Because I am. I'm trying to be the best me that I can be, but I'm trying to be as sincere as possible. The only way out of this simulation is to realize that you were never in a simulation. The simulation is not what you think. It's not thinking outside of this technological realm of numbers, realizing that who you actually are. And when you realize who you actually are, I promise you, it makes sense. And the only thing that you can do in return, my sound is very glitchy, at least for me too. Okay, that's funny. How about on this end? I'm in a tunnel. Hello? Can you hear me better now? Interesting. Okay. Okay, you can hear me better. So here's the ordeal. This is obviously it's going to break me up quite frequently and quite quickly. I'm going to say my piece now. You can hear me? And you can maybe very static. One momento. There's a reason. That's disappointing. It's always about this time. Better. Okay, that's better. Sort of. Hello. Okay, better. Awesome. Wonderful. I'm going to hurry up. Whenever there is a case of people not wanting knowledge and words to be shared, there are ways to disrupt the conversation. If you ever find yourself being blocked, if you ever find yourself being sidelined or quieted, I would say it's best advice to know that you're onto something. Because anytime someone tries to shut you up from something, it's something that they fear. If you want some truth and knowledge, that is some truth and knowledge. Anytime someone tries to quiet you, it's because they are fearful of what you might say. And when someone tries to make sure that you don't say what they're fearful that you should say, then you should probably either choose to be louder or to shut up. Because those are your only options. There's never an in-between. Take it from someone that's an extremely loud individual. If you are ever potentially silenced, then I would suggest that you find a way to take that proverbial hand off your mouth and you sing like a freaking canary and you tell your truth. Tell your truth regardless of the ending outcome, because at the end of your life, you have to deal with you. Nobody thinks about you as much as you think about yourself. That is true. That also means when you are on your way out, no one's thinking about you. At some point, someone's going to think about you for the last time. And that's going to be you. You're the last person that's going to think about you. Is that a cowboy hat? Okay, that was funny. At some point, if you are the last person to think about you, shouldn't you say, well, I'm the best me that I can be. I really gave it my all. I wasn't the perfect person, nor nobody is ever the perfect person, but I really tried. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, is being able to say, I tried to be me. I tried to share my truth. Well, you were wrong. Well, that's subjective, and that's your perspective. I was right to me. Nor good nor bad. I stayed true to me. Well, you didn't stay true to me. It was never about you. It was about me, as much as it's about you to you. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane. If we end up merging lanes, let's make sure we don't have a collision. That's how you get through this. You hear something that is subjective, that really makes you feel uncomfortable, you need to check yourself. What is it that that individual said that really upset you? And don't go base level. I mean, really dig into it and say, I felt uncomfortable. Okay? That made me feel uncomfortable. Well, why? Always dig the why. Always follow the money. Yes, check yourself before you wreck yourself. See, this is the reoccurring theme, but that is the truth. That is really honestly the truth. It's the secret. There's not any other real secret. Just other people trying to convince you that there's other secrets. But that is as futile as saying, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, you won't guess what's in my hands. And as a little child, you say, oh, can I see? I want to see. No, you're not in the group. You can't see. SpongeBob, the box. What's in the box? Nothing, SpongeBob. Don't you trust me? What's in the box? Well, see, nothing's in the box. That's a piece of string. It is. It is all. At the end of the day. Okay, so if that's the case, if it is all, then what do? Enjoy it. Enjoy life. Enjoy it. That's the point. That's why everything was created, was for you to enjoy it. And salty individuals are going to make sure you don't enjoy it. I'm talking about the naysayers. I'm talking about the lost boys. I'm talking about the people that listen to less than stellar forces in the world. Okay? Except there's actually that really embarrassing picture of SpongeBob at the end of the Christmas party. Yes, correct. But that was their picture. At the end of that SpongeBob episode where he had a box and there was a string and SpongeBob wanted to know what the string did or that what was in the box, and he opens the box and there's, oh, okay, wait a minute. It's just a string and he walked off. It was never SpongeBob's information to have. Well, that was a picture taken of him, okay? Do you know how many embarrassing pictures I have of people that probably don't ever think about me anymore? You should get rid of them. No, sometimes I like to chuckle at them, okay? I got some old friends that I don't talk to anymore, and I have some pictures of them that aren't bad pictures. They're just they're looking dumb. They're looking so dumb. And it makes me smile, it makes me laugh, it makes me realize that I'm not where I used to be anymore. That's my picture of them, that's mine, that's my property. Well, it was of me. It was never for you to look at again, okay? Unless I want you to look at it, it's mine. You want to erase the whole catalog of the internet? Good luck. You know how many bad pictures? I mean some really not PG pictures and whatever else might be out there of me. Okay? When I first started working in mental health, that was the first stipulation I told them. I said, look, I can't account for some things that might show up and might happen. They said, are you still that same person? I said, no. They said, okay. If that's the case and it's not current, then it's okay. I'm just warning you. Why? Because I'm not under any obligation to be who I used to be. You are not, though. And yes, people are going to talk crap on you regardless. But yeah, Creep Night. Just like it's not my business about what other people say about me. It's not. What other people say about you is not your business. About you. Lit up hat, mustache. Oh, okay. Seeing is believing. It is. Isn't it funny though? You can have like this simple conversation, this honest conversation, this true conversation, and it makes it worthwhile. It makes it worth having. It gives you a sense of saying, okay, well, if this is the case, then what's the purpose? There was no purpose. There never was. You've been boozled, been conned. You've been lied to. It's a ruse, man. Nobody knows what they're doing. We showed up one day. Here's the truth. History, the way that history works in the chronicle or order of history, is that nobody knows exactly what the real true story is, because there are multiple different perspectives of the story. That's why you have different religions, and that's why you have different societies, is everyone followed some different perspective. And it's not one thing to say, well, you have to follow my perspective. It's, I'm going to respect your perspective if you respect my perspective. And I'm going to have my dirty little secrets and my skeletons. If we can have the same conversation, that I acknowledge that you have your own skeletons and dirty little secrets. And I'm not going to dig into your closet if you don't dig into my closet. Is that fair? Can we agree on that? Can we agree? I won't dig too deeply unless it affects me. I will try my hardest not to dig too deeply into your past. Now, there's an exception, is if you leave your crap all over the floor. If you leave your crap to where people can find it. Yeah, creep night, put the skeletons back in the closet. Save it for your stories that you can find on other platforms. All right, so this is fun. This is great. What I will say is that I thank you for being exactly who you are. You're groovy, wonderful, spectacular souls. But that is what I have to say. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. I hope that your Monday didn't suck. Now it's Terrific Tuesday. All I gotta say is, what? 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 Seriously, what? 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 Thank you for being you. You're wonderful. I mean it. I do. Here, let me bring this one first up. Okay, so look, on TikTok, you can't say YouTube, and I started TikTok. I don't know if YouTube's the same way. If so, I'm screwed. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a chance. I'm on TikTok for Red Nose Wellness. I started one for Red Nose Wellness. It's going great so far, but I'm finding there's things that I had to wait until we turned it off. Okay, I'm finding there's things that you cannot say, which is really weird because there's things that you can on YouTube. Like, for example, you can't play music in the background, which doesn't freaking make sense whatsoever for me, because you can there, but you can't hear, right? But I could say shit, piss, fuck up, cocksucker, motherfucker, this fuck, turd, and twat. And for the most part, I'm good, right? How am I cut for that? I've been cut for talking positive about life, but I haven't been cut from live feed for saying words like Facebook or YouTube or YouTube doesn't care. Alphabet doesn't care about that. They just care about if you're spreading positivity, which is weird. But they do. And like, you can't say followers. You have to say stooped. What's up with that? That doesn't make any sense. What? I don't get that. I do not get that at all. That was weird. They're stooped. And then like, you can't say like death. And I don't know if you can say that here, but I don't know. Okay, sorry. This is like one of those behind the scenes. Right now, but I want to give you guys like my primary attention because you always get more because you've been with me since the beginning. Hell, so I'm gonna redo it. Ready? Here we go. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that your Monday didn't suck. Now it's Terrific Tuesday. Right, Creep Night? Yeah, but they don't censor me as much as they censor me here. So all I'm going to say is what? And thank you for being here. Okay. For reals. For results. Talk to you later.